All right, welcome back, guys. I have been learning Go for the past couple of days, and it's a very interesting language. I'm really loving this. And today I want to go through this part here, the last exercise in the Go in the Go tour, and I actually found it very interesting because it kind of like wraps up everything that you learn. So today I want to talk about how we can do this, and it's going to be really beginner, which is my level anyway. And this is going to be like a very good introduction, I think, to basically doing things in parallel, basically. So what we have here is that we have some kind of like a crawler, and then that crawler is going to go through this whole kind of like this whole kind of like object that has URLs in it, and then each kind of like page has sub pages to it as well. And then what happens is if I just copied this code, I haven't done anything with it. So basically, if I run this code now, I can see this is just so many things happening at the same time, right? So we are going through GoLand here and then package and then go again and then package. So we're running through the same thing multiple times. And that is the issue that we want to fix. So there are two things happening here now. One, the code is running sequentially, and then two, we are visiting things multiple times. And the exercise is basically for us to be able to do these two things. Fetch them in parallel, and then don't fetch the URL twice. Cool. Now, let's just talk about this one because I think this one is really important. Because to me, it seems like the easy way to do this is to basically just literally do this, right? So if your thinking is like, wait, I need to fetch this in parallel, then I need to add a couple of Go statements here and there, and then that should work. You get nothing, right? And the reason why you get nothing, and I'm really loving this, is because when you switch, just think about it this way: when you start a Go routine, this is already being spun into like a separate routine. You can think if you come from a JavaScript background or like a different language, it's kind of a thread or maybe like a sync await, right? So basically, what I've done here is like we have sync awaited for something, but we didn't really await for it. We just sent it, but we didn't await for it, and we just moved on. Um, and that's what happens here. So it's the same thing. Like you have started this Go routine, but you aren't actually waiting for it to come back. So for example, if I just start a single Go routine, so I will do this for example. So if I just do one single Go routine, I get nothing now because that's the main Go routine. That makes sense. But if I just make this a normal function and then start the rest, oopsie, and then do the rest as a Go routine. So what happens now is I get only the first one. And this basically happened is that we got this print statement here coming from the first item, basically this invocation on line here, this line 35, right? So that's the first print that we got, and then the following ones happened in the Go routine, in a separate routine. That's not on the kind of the main thread. Let's just think about it that way. It's not very accurate, but think about it that way. And because you haven't waited for it doesn't give you anything back. So let's wait for it. It's very simple. The way to wait for it is make a channel. And I like this. I've seen this multiple places. Let's just make a channel called exit, right? And that is going to be a channel, and that channel is going to get a boolean, right? And then what we do is basically this routine that controls all the other routine that's going to spend every single other routine. We basically pass that channel inside there. And then obviously this is not the right type here, and that oopsie, and that is fine. So let's jump there, go here, and then add this guy here. So now this will also accept an exit, which is a channel of booleans, right? And then what happens is if you get to the depth is less than 0, nothing else is to fetch basically. What we will do is that we will send to exit, we will send through to exit, and that's fantastic, right? We're just saying like, if you're done, just tell exit, send through to exit. And then obviously we need to pass this guy here. So I'm gonna pass this channel there as well. Now, this will be the same result, and the reason is you have made the channel, you've passed it through, you're still not waiting for the channel. There's a couple of ways you can wait for the channel. The easiest and the most straightforward is to basically empty the channel somewhere. Now you're not picking up the value that's coming out from the channel, but this line here is gonna block, is gonna wait for this to happen. And you can imagine that basically what we're doing here is we are starting a Go routine here, and that Go routine is going to start multiple Go routines there, but the main function is making a channel and is waiting on that channel. It's waiting for something to happen on that channel, right? Obviously, we are not closing the channel, which is not good, but now things happen not sequentially anymore. They just go quickly because we have spun all these Go routines that are going to go and fetch all these things together. So that's the first part of the thing. And then obviously you could defer. I mean, at this point you can just like close it, but then just defer close of exit if you want to preserve the memory as well. Obviously you should. Depends how your system looks like. This is not gonna make any difference, but it's good to do anyway. Cool. So that's the first thing. Now we are fetching the URLs in parallel, right? And that's fantastic. Now the second part we need to do, actually I'm not gonna go through the second part. This is it. This is how to kind of like think about how to do concurrent work in Go. The whole thing is basically that you think, which is what I think, if you just add Go, make everything a Go routine, it will just work. But that's not true. You have to have a Go routine, but then you also have to listen to what these Go routines are doing so that they can communicate to the main function, to the main routine that started all these Go routines. And these two lines here are doing exactly that. One line is making a channel, and one line is listening on that channel. And only when that line, only when we send something to that channel, okay, that's fine, we've received that exit signal, and then we close that channel and we move on. And that's the end of that. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.